What's up, garden friends? AJ Screentham here. It's a crisp fall afternoon. It's Sunday. The temps are in the mid 50s. It's feeling actually pretty good. Our task list is long and never ending. So now I'm meaning to revisit these Covington sweet potatoes. At a closer look, you can see that a lot of the foliage has been frostbitten. It's dying back, and actually it's been about 3.5 to 4 weeks since I did the mini harvest, and I think it's long overdue to go ahead and finish this up. Now, a few things with sweet potatoes. After the maturity date from when you plant them, okay, from when you plant your slips, you can leave your potatoes in the ground, get this, over 2 months. In some cases up to 90 days. However, you don't want your potatoes to go through too many frosts, because even if you can salvage some, they'll take a longer time to cure. If you go ahead and harvest them at the opportune time, in this case, these Covingtons should have been ready within 110 to 115 days. You can cure them in under 10 days. But the colder it gets, you're stretching that curation process, and it can last all the way up until 3 to 4 weeks. So let's take a closer look. So, like I said, all the foliage have been crisped due to the frost, okay? So I am taking kind of a gamble here, hoping that I have some viable sweet potatoes to salvage. Now I need to hurry up and harvest all of this so I can plant some garlic. Now check this out right here. This has seen probably 3 or probably 4 frosts. 4 light frosts. Let's put it into perspective. It hasn't gotten that cold here. But these are from the vine that had touched the ground along the way from one of the plants that I originally planted over there. All right, so we've got some foliage that hasn't died back, and what I mean to say is that this doesn't look bad at all. This looks relatively healthy and intact. Now, one thing to note, the longer you leave your sweet potatoes in the ground past the maturity date, the larger the tubers can get. So without bruising this one here, let's see if I can yank out the entire tuber without breaking it. That's an impressive tuber. I'm not going to go any further. I'm going to get my pitchfork. So let me go get that real quick. All right, so 25 minutes later, I got my pitchfork. I tell you, with gardening, you're always getting distracted and you're getting into something else. So I got to learn to stay a little more focused here. All right, so as I harvest, I'm going to go ahead and transfer them to this tarp right over here. All right, let's get started. A few things about this mix. For these Covingtons, I prepared a mix. Now I have a video. I guess I can go ahead and throw that up on the corner right here, where I showed all the amendments and stuff that I put in there. So these potatoes were well fed, okay? They were well fed. I used sand, playground sand. I think I have an empty bag somewhere around here. I'll put the picture up on the screen. But in addition to the sand, I used perlite, lots of perlite. I used compost, of course, and some raised bed mix. I think it's by Harvest Organics. I'm not too sure. I can probably look that up and put that up on the screen as well. So, in other words, they had a nice, fluffy, rich mix or medium for them to push through and swell up. So if I remember correctly, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. 4 rows and it was 3 slips each row. So we had a total of 12. But a few of them did succumb to whatever. All right. Oh, I'm pulling them out. One little straggler. Not sure where they were running to. Oh, I see life. Okay. All right. So from here on out, I got to be a little more careful. All right, this is not too shabby. You know, honestly, I'm just glad that whatever I find isn't spoiled or rotten. That's my main concern. I'm not even so much concerned about the size anymore. Fingerlings. Now we're talking. Oh, I see one that didn't make it. Well, I shouldn't say so. It just looks like a dahlia tuber. Okay. You guys want to know something funny? So as I was cleaning up this area prior to filming this video, I was checking the roots of some of the potted peonies that I have over here. And sure enough, a sweet potato vine wrapped itself around the pot and somehow touched the soil coming out of one of the drainage holes at the bottom of the plastic pot. And there was a sweet potato forming up inside that pot. I tell you, the vines can get pretty aggressive, and wherever they touch fertile soil, they will form a tuber. They sure will. All right, so we got something right here. Let me be a little more delicate so I don't bruise it. Looks a little blackened. Probably got damaged by the frost. It's possible. Still gonna eat it. This one's deformed. And I just broke that off. The thing is, you can eat these, but they won't be sweet. They'll just be, it tastes like a regular potato, because that's the reason you got to cure your sweet potatoes, so that the sugars can concentrate. So yeah, you can go ahead and eat it, but it just won't taste familiar. Look at that, got a grub. A grub. getting a taste of some of that sunlight. Let's see if we get a bird around here that can come eat them. Circle of life. If I've learned anything from this experiment is sweet potatoes like to grow where they're not welcomed. They like to grow. They're opportunists. They're advantageous growers. That's what it appears to be. So I made a perfectly viable bed for you guys, and I barely got anything in those beds. I barely got anything in that bed, but everywhere else I didn't plant them is where I'm getting tubers. See? It's pretty comical. I mean, this is my first time growing sweet potatoes on this large of a scale. Like I said before, last time I grew sweet potatoes, it was in a container. And my ignorance at the time, I had it in one of those cement mixing type containers. You know, they're relatively shallow. And it was a decent harvest. I mean, they were all kind of curled up looking because they didn't have enough depth. But this is not too shabby for a first real crop. I've learned some lessons for next year. So I call this a win-win. I call this a win-win. All right, so over here, I was mentioning in the earlier part of the video. Let's see what we get. Oh wow, check this out, guys. Again, seems like the runner vines produce more sweet potatoes. Now this has a little blotchiness on it. Like I said, I gotta look that up to see what that means. It might be that it sat in water for a while. I'm not too sure, but you can tell this was an original slip. All right, so not too shabby. All in all, I guess it was beneficial to leave these in a few more weeks so that the tubers can swell up a little more. So food for thought for anyone else out there who felt as though their initial harvesting was what's the word, I don't know, subpar, not satisfying enough. You can just let the sweet potatoes stay in for a few more weeks. Make sure you water them so that they can plump up. All right, I think that's it for this little area right here. Check this out right here. Wow. Look at that. You guys see that? Wow. I think I'm in the light. Let's knock this off. Not bad. Not bad at all. Here's a little sweet potato I was telling you guys about that grew up in the soil medium of a peony that I had potted up. That deserves to get eaten. All right, let's get this right here. Let's get this up. this is from a runner vine. Pretty impressive. All right. Well, that was a good way to end this video, guys. I think that's it. Anything else? I think I've disturbed this soil enough. So we kind of want to keep all the microorganisms intact. So when I put my garlic in here, they'll thrive. They'll get off to a good start. Hey, like I said, not too shabby. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here. That was a pretty exciting harvest of these Covington sweet potatoes. They've stayed in this bed, the majority of them, I wanna say probably 4 going on 5 months. Well over the 110 days that they're supposed to have stayed in for. And I was pretty impressed. I was a little bit nervous about keeping them out here an extra 3 to 4 weeks due to some of the frosts we've had as of late, but the frosts haven't been that bad. I'd say probably 4 to 5 light frosts is what we've had thus far. All right, guys, end this video right here. Thanks for hanging with me, and I'll see you on the next one. AJ's Green Thumb.